What's up, guys? Y'all have heard me reference quite a few times in different videos the phrase, the armed prepared citizen. And that's really the bulk of what my channel's about. It dawned on me that I've never personally done anything on that particular topic or subject, or even put any definitions or parameters around that term, right? So, congratulations, today's the day. Thought I'd throw this together for you, and just as a little chit chat here on the back porch, explain my thoughts on that to you. You know, I have to pardon me if I sip a little bit while we're talking, because the humidity is through the roof and it's freaking hot out here. I'm sweating just sitting here. It's retarded. Okay, so the armed prepared citizen. For me, it's different than probably what most people are thinking and what most of the other connotations of that term end up being. The armed prepared citizen, sometimes you can get wrapped up in the semantics of words, right? But there's meanings behind words. Words mean things. In this particular phrase and term and usage, armed prepared citizen is someone who, I'm trying to think, I want to really explain it the best way. It's a lifestyle, right? Okay, I'm using a big word. No, it's more than what you do. It's actually how you live, how you look at others, how you look at yourself. It's really a fairly broad thing, and I might not even be able to really cover my true thoughts on it just in a short video here. I'm going to try to keep this under 3 hours for you, because my drink will be finished by then and you'll already be wanting to refill your coffee cup, which, as always, if you haven't done, now's a good time to pause and go fill her up, right? So, lifestyle, armed prepared citizen. Well, as the name suggests, number one, I want to be armed. But armed doesn't mean owning a gun. Armed means having a weapon with which to fight with. Okay, I'm giving you my thoughts behind the term, because I'm not taking credit for the term, but back in 2012, when I first started doing this, I had never heard anybody else use this particular phrase. Now, I've heard it used since, but I hadn't heard anybody use it before I started using it. That's not to say that anybody hadn't, just that I had never personally heard it used. So, the first part of it is you're armed. May or may not be a gun. The point is to be armed. Armed physically, but armed mentally. Arm yourself with knowledge. Arm yourself with training. Your weapons might just be your brain. It might be being armed with the knowledge of knowing to have situational awareness, tactical awareness, and to see a situation developing and be able to get yourself and or your loved ones away from and out of a situation before it actually happens, because you noticed it coming before it actually happened. It might be that your only weapons is your physical body, hands, feet, arms, legs, whatever. Might be a stick you pick up off the ground, might be a walking stick, might be a pocket knife, might be a firearm, could be anything. Arm doesn't always necessarily just mean a firearm, okay? You want to be physically armed with a weapon as part of that lifestyle. I'm armed all the time. Generally, with my handgun. That's usually at a bare minimum for me is my handgun, flashlight, and knife. That's a bare minimum. Now there may be very rare occasions and I might not have my gun on me. I really try to limit those because I just prefer not to go places that I can't have my gun. In those situations, excuse me, I typically still have my flashlight, a knife. I've got these, got 2 feet, still got mental knowledge, mental weapons. You could go on forever about that, but you get the idea. I'm also armed for non-everyday situations. I'm armed for if things go really bad, really south. Armed for those end of the world type situations. So again, I don't want to drone on each particular part, but that's the armed part is being armed all the time in some manner or fashion. Typically it's going to be with a firearm, because as modern human beings, that's the most effective defensive weapon that we have nowadays. So, prepared. Well, the prepared part ties into the armed part. But it's about being prepared for a bad situation to happen, right? Be it somebody tries to rob you, carjack you, shoot up the restaurant that you happen to be eating dinner in. You're armed for that situation. You're prepared for it because you're armed. You're prepared for it because you've trained, you've practiced. You're living the lifestyle, so when you do go eat, you're paying attention to where you're sitting at in the restaurant, where the entrances and exits are, where the windows are, how everything's oriented. That's that mental arming coming back in. That's part of the preparedness. That's how you prepare, is by learning things. Excuse me. You prepare for bad times by storing away food. You prepare for retirement by saving money. You prepare for unexpected bills by saving money. You know, it's daily life things. In addition to, you prepare for long-term catastrophic events by having food, shelter, clothing, weapons, place to go, all that kind of stuff. So it's everyday normal things. It's potential what-if catastrophes. You're preparing for all of it. And those preparations, they all work in a symbiotic relationship, right? All that stored food you've got. Well, say you're storing it up for bad times to come, but you unexpectedly, your business you work for unexpectedly closes up shop and you find yourself out of a job. And you've got to decide between paying the car payment so you can continue to get out looking for a new job or buying groceries. Well, you've got all that food stored up. Guess what? You've got food to eat. You won't go hungry. You can use that food, put that money towards other things during that time. Then later, when you're back, set again, replenish that food. Those long-term preparations, guys, all that stuff for the zombie apocalypse, which, by the way, the zombie apocalypse has already happened. Just go look around. We got zombies running the country right now, altering your lives every day. Sorry, I digress. All the stuff that you have put back for that can very easily and very practically be used for everyday normal situations. So, the armed, the prepared. Now we get into the final part, the citizen. So, I want to read you definition real quick, okay? Here's what in the dictionary the word citizen technically means. A native or naturalized member of a state or nation who owes allegiance to its government and is entitled to its protection. And it cut off. Pardon me just a moment. Entitled to its protection. An inhabitant of a city or town, especially one entitled to its privileges or franchises. An inhabitant or denizen. A civilian as distinguished from a soldier, police officer, etc. For me, the first two parts are the more appropriate ones, right? I think a citizen separates you from others, okay? A citizen is not the same as just a civilian, right? A civilian, for good or bad, it has almost nowadays a sheep-like connotation to it. That if you're just a civilian, you're not military, you're not law enforcement, whatever, you're just a civilian, so you need to just sit down, shut up, and let the non-civilian people handle whatever's going on. I almost like to think of it kind of along the lines from, I'm going to reference it, Starship Troopers, how a citizen is looked at in there. A citizen is more to me than just a civilian. Okay? Just because you're not active in the military anymore, active law enforcement anymore, doesn't mean that now you suddenly don't know all that you know. And that's what that connotation of civilian tends to inappropriately, I think, connotate nowadays. I really prefer the term citizen. Think about it in this context. If somebody's talking about, if you travel abroad, you're an American citizen. You don't categorize things, I'm an American civilian. No, I'm an American citizen. I'm a member of the United States of America. I'm a member of my town, my city. Police officers and law enforcement are citizens of their respective countries, towns, neighborhoods, whatever. Put all those together, armed, prepared citizen. And I think that gives you a fairly good idea of what I'm talking about. I got to be real careful because this is one of those ones, like I said, we can drag it out 3 hours. I'm trying not to do that for you. So we're going to keep it short right there. If there's enough interest and discussion, I can push the bounds on that further and delve in deeper, but for now, we'll call it right there. I think that's, without delving into stuff that'll take a lot longer to talk about. Armed, prepared citizen, guys. Think about what I'm saying. Think about your definition of it and what you like, and maybe we can discuss it some more in the future. So, stay safe, take care, and I will talk to you later.